Hi, welcome you all to vchand.wordpress.com. In this screencast, I like to share some of the tips that helps you to start with Graphical Network Simulator 3, which is shortly known as GNS3. We can download GNS3 from gns3.net, and I have downloaded the Windows version of it. Installing it is as simple as installing any other software in Windows. This is a main window of GNS3. Before simulating any of the available devices, you have to do two steps. First step is to add an iOS image for the device that we want to simulate. To do this, go to Edit, iOS Images and Hypervisors, and this will list you all the already existing image. To add a new image for the device, click on the Browse button. Select the particular image and say Open. So this will add the image to the already existing list. Step number 2 is to calibrate dynamics for your setup. To do this, go to Edit, Preferences, Dynamics and say Test. After successful completion of the above mentioned two steps, you will be able to add any of the devices for which you have added an iOS image. So I have added a router 3600 by dragging it from the left pane to the middle area. As we need to simulate a switch, we need to first add NM16ESW module to the router slot. So I selected both these routers and right click, configure and select one of the router and go to its slot and then select NM16ESW. Say apply. So the same thing has to be repeated for the other routers too. To do this efficiently, I just selected on the routers node, which is the root node, and then change the slot. So by this applies to all the devices that comes under it. We could recheck it and then say configure, and I could see in R12 and it is NM16ESW. So the next step is to add a link between these two devices. We could click on this link button and say fast Ethernet, but adding it as a fast Ethernet will change the network, change the module slot to fast Ethernet module. So I just manually add a link, click on manual and then say select an interface, drag it to the other router and then select another interface. Now the topology is ready and the device can be started by click on this play button. The routers are getting started. Yes, it is started and the links are shown us up. Let's console to one of the router. Oh, sorry. Okay. Just right click and say console. So the router is getting loaded. This will be similar to what you see in a real device. So it asks for, do you want to enter the initial configuration dialog? I said no. Text. Okay. I just conf t and then say host name and R0 and make sure that you do write mem so that the configuration is stored. The important thing to note here is to save this project, you have to say file new project and then make sure that router configuration files is checkbox is checked, and then you give some meaningful project file name and say OK. If you just click on file and then save, it will just save the topology. Make sure that the router configuration is also saved in the as shown in the console. Thank you for being here. Have a nice time. Thanks to Screenr2.